champs again. It's great to be back here. It's great to bring Larry home, and kind of like Bob said, never really imagined that we would be having one parade, let alone two, now three. But this is for you guys. This is what why it's so special to be playing in the Bay Area in front of you fans, all of Dub Nation. So we appreciate your support, and we're gonna try to get greedy and go get some more. So appreciate it.
Kevin, for you, a thought to the fans. You fit in perfectly. We want you back at any contract you would like, for any amount in any years.
Why was that even a discussion? Why were you even talking about that? Yeah, for sure. We want to do this thing again. All the love and support.
And I'll remember the downs more, honestly, just because they made the victory that much sweeter. And even, you know, the ankle, the knee, the thumb, whatever, it's like a badge of honor because you win that championship, it's all worth it. And, yeah, like I said, just the journey, man, it was long. And it's been like it's been like a blur these last 4 years, but if you end it with this every time, you can't complain.
Listen to the crowd just coming alive. Swaggy bathrobe. Holy moly.
Look at him.
He is a golf.
Look at him. He is having a great time, man.
Wow.
We dropped the P after game 4. Yeah, you know, this is my first champ, JaVale.
What are the characteristics of a swag champ? What should we expect?
That means I'm at the ultimate level. I'm at the top. It's nothing higher than swag champ, and that's me. You know, JaVale could come up with his own name. That's Pierre.
Pierre 2 times. You know who it is.
Pierre 2 times.
Pierre 2 times.
Ivan's bus in the building.
Do you plan on putting a shirt on?
All summer 18 is shirtless. You know, yeah. From the bottom to the top. That's where we at, baby. Most hated.
JaVale, you think when you came here in 2016 it would be this good?
Man, I had no idea, man. Boy, man, this team is amazing. The passion, everybody, the way everybody plays, the fans. It's amazing, man.
Oh, do you ever allow yourself to go back and reflect on your career, how you got it? Because a lot of people don't remember. You had to make the team in 2016. You had injuries before that.
Yeah.
You fought your way through that. How did you get through all that and persevere? That's your story, persevere.
It's mentality, man. You got to have the mentality that you're a winner and you got to work hard. You can't give up on yourself, man. Just joining and winning the organization, it just helped with that. And I love winning the champ with my man, Mookie. They hated us. Yes.
Jordan Bell. So all of a sudden that happens, but now Draymond. So what will Draymond do to try to put the icing on top of the cake? But the fans are ready for it, and you can really sense it here as they start to move their way up Broadway.
Yeah, they probably saved the best for last. I think they were smart in letting Draymond Green pull up the rear of this parade. As you can see, it's moving pretty slowly right now, but that is because this is such a fun parade, a different kind of a deal with players getting off and being so interactive with the crowd and going out there taking pictures, touching them, as we saw Jordan Bell putting on a show. And again, we got the Draymond Cheetos waiting here, the Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
Gotta get your Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
These ladies over here, I'm telling you, they're gonna lose their mind when Draymond's bus pulls up because they've been waiting all day for this.
They're having a...
Holy moly. Wow. Oh, man. Kelly Johnson's got him.
She got him.
Kelly's got him.
Right now, you're a rookie. What is this experience like, Jordan? What is this experience like?
It's crazy. You know, being from Long Beach, Southern California, you watch the LA Lakers, how they play damn near every year, and be able to experience it. I know me and Nick Young, we were talking about it earlier, how special this feels for us. We always watch it, and not to be part of it is just crazy.
And you came prepared. Are we still expecting more champagne baths going on here?
Hennessy now. I don't know what champagne is. I'm on here.
Congratulations, Jordan.
He went back and got another swing.
Look at him now.
Holy moly. Hoagie at the back of a golf. Holy cow.
All right, we're ready to meet the basketball operations, the coaches, and your 2017-18 defending NBA World Champions. Here they are, the Golden State Warriors.
Introducing the best coaching staff in the NBA. Willie Green. Chris DeMarco. Bruce Frazier. Jaron Collins. Mike Brown. Ron Adams. And head coach, Steve Kerr. Please welcome President of Basketball Operations and General Manager, Bob Myers. And now, your Golden State Warriors. Number 15, Damian Jones. Number 4, Quinn Cook. Number 6, Nick Young. Number 3, David West. Number 27, Zaza Pachulia. Number 1, JaVale McGee. Number 0, Patrick McCaw. Number 5, Kevon Looney. Number 34, Sean Livingston. Number 2, Jordan Bell. Number 9, Andre Iguodala. Number 23, Draymond Green. Number 11, Klay Thompson. Number 35, Kevin Durant.
And now, where is that Larry O'Brien trophy? And one guy to bring it up.
Number 30, Stephen Curry.
Give it up for the world champions one more time. All right, so we got to bring up Bob Myers and Steve Kerr to get this thing started. A couple housekeeping notes. Bob wore his parade sweats as he got dressed today, if you've seen those. And he also came up with Nick Young's outfit. So give it up for Bob Myers. Bob and Steve, step front and center here for a sec. Now, Steve Kerr, you see, is this well-spoken, humble, incredibly bright person. But the first parade we ever had, he immediately said, "None of you have parade experience. Back off and let me handle everything." He's been through 8 of these now. The ring's only not in the pinkies. Are those the last 2 that you have to grab?
Toes. I think I'm going to go with the toes instead.
Put this year in perspective. You've called it the most difficult of the 3. Why so? And just a couple markers for this season.
It was difficult because we've been doing it for a few years now, and it just gets tougher as you go along. And so the journey was a long one, but these guys were amazing. They turned it up during the playoffs, and just the competitive fight they have is incredible. And the last couple of months made it all worth it.
Now for Bob Myers, two-time Executive of the Year, 3 championships, and a 3-week-old baby. And the question is, when did you ever have time to have a baby?
Halftime of game of 3 of the... That's actually when I got the text. We were up against Houston. My wife said, "You think you're going to win?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "All right, let's just have the baby now." So...
But when you think of being the Executive of the Year, I always wondered, how do you draft these guys? How do you find these guys? How do you put this team together and work so well with Steve? And then I heard you tell Kevin Durant he can have whatever contract he wants next year.
Yeah, that was just for the media. He can't have anything like that at all.
Mid-level.
Yeah, mid-level, behind closed doors.
Because I think last year you told Steph he could have any contract he wants too.
Yeah.
So
well, yeah, that was different. He's been here from the run, you know, the way before days. He's earned it.
And there ended the Warriors' cohesion right there.
So much for chemistry.
That's when it began. The first fissure.
Put it in perspective, Bob, as a Bay Area guy, seeing this success after 17 out of 18 years not making the playoffs, to see the greatest 4-year run, 328 and 83. And do you ever sit back, take a deep breath? I asked Joe this, and just marvel at that success?
You know, I wish I did that more. I mean, growing up here, it's one championship would have been enough for our, I mean, I don't know how you guys feel, but I never thought we'd have any parades. Joe did, though. Joe called it. I remember watching Joe on TV. He said, "We're going to add to that lonely banner." And I kind of thought, no, we're not. But, but we've added 3, which is hard to believe.
Steve, you said this year was so difficult, not only with injuries, but you kept telling the guys kind of the same thing. It's, hey, we don't turn the ball over. Let's play better defense. Let's defend this championship. And they might have said, we've heard from you enough. So you let them coach one game. That was pretty phenomenal in its own right. They coached themselves very well. How did you gather this for the parade push? Because the playoff basketball looked like elite Warrior basketball that we've become accustomed to.
Well, these guys, they're almost like a racehorse that knows it's the home stretch, you know, and the playoffs started, and I knew we were going to be okay. The first game of the playoffs against San Antonio, the defense was unbelievable, and that's the key to our team. So what they did in terms of bringing the energy and the competitiveness from the start in the playoffs just turned everything around.
All right, guys, give a final shout out to the fans of Dub Nation.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, you guys can sit there. You're much taller than me. I'm going to stand in front of KD before his Warrior exit. I want to enjoy as much time with him as possible. Steph, we'll smooth Bob over later on. Any contract you want, Kev, I promise. Steph, how was this year different than the 2 previous? Everybody's talked about how difficult it was. Obviously, getting you back from injury. The Warriors had the 4 All-Stars play in only 41 of the 82 games, and yet still came together at the right time. How was this year have a different feel?
I mean, pretty much described every part of the journey. Injuries, the challenge of trying to motivate yourself and get hype for a 4th year in a row chasing a trophy. And we have amazing IQ guys. We got great chemistry. We got a deep hunger knowing that when the lights are bright, we show up. And it all kind of came together at the right time down the stretch of the playoffs. And now we're here celebrating another championship. So it was a special year for sure.
For Klay Thompson, the line of the postseason is, "I never knew you used your ankle so much to play basketball." That's and yet you played through a couple significant injuries because you said you didn't want to miss it, that you wanted to continue to play with these guys. And Game 6 elimination games seemed to be your thing. Well, what will you remember from this year?
Just the journey. And I'll remember the downs more, honestly, just because they made the victory that much sweeter. And even, the ankle, the knee, the thumb, whatever, it's like a badge of honor because you win that championship, it's all worth it. And, yeah, like I said, just the journey, man. It was long. And it's been like it's been like a blur these last 4 years, but if you end it with this every time, you can't complain.
Steph, you and Clay both always have that unshakable confidence in shooting. No matter what has happened on the prior shot, you're going to take that next shot. Did it ever waver down to Houston that, wait a minute, we got to win 6, we got to win on the road 7, we still got to get to the finals? What was it within the team that had that kind of inner belief that you were going to get it done?
I mean, we usually respond when our back's against the wall, and that was a situation we haven't been in, any combination of guys on the stage, and to have to win two in a row without having home court advantage, just to get to the finals, let alone trying to win a championship. We had so much confidence in ourselves, no matter how the series had went up until that point, that we could turn it around, and obviously we did. So, like Clay said, all the work that you put into it, and the blood, sweat, and tears that you leave out on the floor, regular season, training camp, into the playoffs, that all shows up at the right time, and that's what happened.
Clay, it's brought up the friendships between you guys and the way you get along as a team. I want photos of you and Zaza fishing. That's the next thing that I want to see. I've seen China Clay, I've seen Comic Clay, I've seen Shooting Clay. I've not seen Clay on the high seas. I'm waiting to see that.
That's a good sight to see.
What is it about this chemistry and the camaraderie that makes this team so special? Because it's real, it's legit. The amount of fun you have, Steve talks about joy, and it's palpable when you guys play basketball.
I mean, I think all of us just enjoy playing the game, and no one ever complains. That's the beauty of it. Guys will not play a whole series and then come out the next series and make a huge impact. I mean, you know, look at guys like JaVale. I mean, Quinn Cook, we had almost the whole team hurt. He came in, Kevon Looney, this man, you know, barely had any playoff experience. He's blocking people at the rim. I can go down the list. So it wasn't just us four, it was everyone behind us as well who had huge contributions throughout the whole year.
Finish up with a Splash Brothers message to Dub Nation of the fans. Give them a thought on the way out.
I mean, we're champs again. It's great to be back here. It's great to bring Larry home, and kind of like Bob said, never really imagined that we would be having 1 parade, let alone 2, now 3. But this is for you guys. This is what why it's so special to be playing in the Bay Area in front of you fans, all of Dub Nation. So we appreciate your support, and we're gonna try to get greedy and go get some more. So appreciate it.
Clay, you got a thought?
Yeah, what Steph said.
So for Draymond Green and Kevin Durant, we saved the best for last here. If you remember Draymond in the first parade, he got near the ledge, so we have him seated away from the ledge. But you have said you want to be known as one of the ultimate winners. So I came up with a little number for you. 4,200 guys have played NBA basketball. 73 have won 3 championships or more. That's less than 2%. 5 of those 73 dudes are Golden State Warriors, and you are one of them. The ultimate winner.
That's pretty special. It's pretty good.
You didn't need to Google yourself. I wanted to give you that info directly.
Appreciate that.
Steve calls you the heartbeat. There was an interesting kind of puzzle on would the elite championship defense be there in the playoffs when it mattered. And about 3 minutes into the Spurs game 1, I said, Draymond is so locked in, he's guarding the whole Spurs team by himself. I think the elite defense is here. Where's that energy come from? And in the playoffs, ratcheting it up, how do you do that all the time?
I mean, I think, you know, as competitors, you know, we all look forward to that moment, to compete for a championship, you know, although it may not seem like that at times throughout the regular season where it can get long and grueling. You know, we look forward to that. And I mean, as far as the defense go, like Steve said, that's why our team is made at. It allows us to get out in transition. It kills the confidence of other teams. I think, you know, everybody think my defense is great. I think it's pretty good, but I have a lot of defensive breakdowns out there thinking by myself. And, you know, these guys cover up for me, so I can't act like it's just me, you know, out there making everything go. We all work out together, and
you know, that's how our defense is so great.
Kevin, you talked about year 2 being different than year 1, having a different feel, like someone releasing a second album after a mega hit the first time around. What will you take from the back-to-back championships for Kevin Durant, other than another kind of K-dagger in Cleveland to put him away?
Like Clay said, I think it's just a journey, just being around these guys every day. You know, I see these guys more than I see my family, so I feel like we built a nice bond over the last few years, and it's only getting stronger and stronger, and it showed on the basketball court. So I just, you know, flights, the bus rides, the shoot-arounds, breakfast meetings, all that stuff, that's the best part of the year, and then to get here just caps it all off. So it's just a special year, just getting to know each and every one of my teammates even better.
It's hard to ask an elite player what's the best game you ever played, but when you think about in the finals, your Splash Brothers are 7 of 27, and they're hurting in a game, and you need scoring, so you kick in 43. And Draymond needs help rebounding because he's fighting off the Cavs with Kevon and other guys, and you just grab 13. And then you need some assists, so you just crank out and dish out 8. I mean, is that in the biggest stage, is that the greatest game you've ever played in your life?
It was a fun game. I felt like we just helped each other do everything. You know, when guys weren't making shots, I think we just picked each other up in other areas, and when we defended, we did it as one. You know, and we rebounded, we did it as one. I didn't box out hard every time. Draymond was doing that. That allowed us to go grab rebounds, along with Looney, along with, you know, JaVale, all the bigs. They allowed us to come in there and get rebounds. So I think we just did everything together and was able to walk out of there with a W.
So Draymond, people want to know, in Game 6 or Game 7 at halftime, trailing, you know, the voices, the leadership of Sean Livingston. I heard Clay was doing talking. He doesn't normally talk. Is that there's a comfort level with the whole roster of different guys stepped to the forefront and said, let's stay together, let's get this done. So it isn't always Steve's voice. Give us, the fans, just a little idea of 6 and 7 and just what you went through at halftime of those games.
Oh, man, you know, those games, you definitely heard everyone's voice. It wasn't just one guy. Obviously, like you said, the one that stood out most was Clay. He doesn't talk much at all. And he probably, those 2 games, he probably talked more than anyone, you know, but I mean, that's just the type of competitor that he is. That's why he can play on a high ankle sprain or whatever it was he's playing on in the finals, because he just wants to win. And, you know, those 2 games, as much as he talked, like, that just shows it right there alone, that, you know, that's the only thing that matters to him and everybody up here, which is why we've had the success we've had.
All right, I'll finish up with very few teams ever sweep in the finals. It's kind of historic. How important was that to you guys with the sweep, to leave the exclamation mark on that?
It's a mood. It's definitely a mood, for sure.
And Kevin, for you, a thought to the fans. You fit in perfectly. We want you back at any contract you would like, for any amount in any years.
Why was that even a discussion? Why we even talking about that? Yeah, for sure. We want to do this thing again. All the love and support. We appreciate it. We appreciate it.
If we could have the 2017-2018 Golden State Warriors get front and center, it's time for that archival team picture. Give it up for the champions. Get on in the middle. Nick, get up there. Get the cameras ready. 2017, 2018, 3 out of 4, back-to-back, your world champion, Golden State Warriors.